Hello everybody, my name is Uyele Lawale and today we will be talking about how to use Lichess as a resource or as a tool to teach beginners, any student, how to play chess. And the very first things first is to just go to lichess.org, open the website. If you don't have the website, please kindly you have to, if you don't have an account on the website, please kindly create an account there. Just sign in, username and all those stuff. So you get it happen. I'm not going to go into that because that one is easy to go about. But the most important thing is when you get in there and you want to have your resource to use, the very first thing I do is if I'm actually teaching a complete newbie, because I want to teach them how to use a chessboard, so I go to tools and the next thing I go to the board editor. So I use the board editor as the very first one. Why? Because the board editor is going to give me so much flexibility to play around with every of the pieces and all the squares on the chessboard. Now for number one, here you see just click and clear the board. There is nothing on this board, and now I can start asking simple questions. What can you see? Just I tell them to forget about this one at the top here, forget about this one down here. What can you see on the board? And they start telling me colors, squares, letters, and numbers, then lines. So I try to explain, and if I want to, draw some arrows to make some explanation. For example, if I want to tell them the vertical line on the chessboard, which are the files, I just right click, from here, and I just right click, I hold it down, then I drag it all the way up. So this shows that I'm showing them the B file. Same thing I can use for the F file. And if I want to explain the horizontal lines, which are the ranks, I could say this is the first rank, and this is the second rank. See, it's going to 2 there. This is the third rank, and on like that. Now, if I want to be specific on a particular square, like okay, what's the name of this square? I could just right click once, and there will be a circle highlighting that square. And this square right now, I will teach them. If you trace the square down to the fourth letter there, that's letter B. You trace it to the number, that is number 5. So this square is B5. That's simple. That's how you just go ahead with that. So you are able to teach them coordinates easily, and you want to teach them the arrangement of the chess pieces or introduce them to the chess pieces one by one. You can start bringing them one by one inside. This is the king. It has a cross crown on his head, and the king got married to the queen. This queen, look at the queen's crown, and the queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard. You bring it out, then you bring back the bishop, prayed for them on their wedding day, sort of a thing. The knights are the horses that take the king and the queen to their respective houses. And where does the king live? The king actually lives in castles. Just explaining like that. And the king got to the castle, wants to eat fried rice, chicken, and maybe neutral milk or some kind of drink, whatever you can cook up, in your respective country that you believe is the favorite, especially that children will actually marvel, or beginners or anybody can relate to it. Then you can say who is going to prepare the meals. Then you can, this is where the servants come in, and the servants are actually named pawns in chess. It's like that. It's just easy. And also clear the board. Also, we want to talk about the movement of the pieces. It's very easy. Just bring up the rook. We want to talk about the rook, and we are saying the rook moves up, down, left, right. So as easy as saying the rook moves along the files or the ranks, or you can say the rook moves vertically and horizontally. But I've noticed over the years that the simplest way of explaining the rook's movement is just say the rook moves up, down, left, right. For example, up, down, so this is to the right, and this is back to the left. So I can put the rook up here, and I can draw the arrow easily, like say up. Oh, sorry, I can say up, down, left, right. There is only one shortcoming about this resource. The only shortcoming there is now that imagine you want to move the rook to h4, and mistakenly you dragged it and landed on h5. You see, that's the problem. This resource doesn't frown on illegal moves. It doesn't frown on illegal moves. So when you are explaining, you have to be very, very careful, so that you have to make the accurate moves. When you are trying to explain the movement of the pieces, it won't make any sense teaching and making illegal moves from the beginning to the pupils, because they might get a little bit confused in not too distant future. So it's better to make sure that when you're making your moves, you're trying to make them as accurate as possible, and you avoid any kind of misclick to the largest extent. Okay, so that is it. That requires it. And if you want to talk about the bishop movement, just click on the bishop and bring it all up, and you can click on it, diagonal. And the interesting is you can change this color. For example, if you want to show danger, you can just press shift, right click again, and draw. You see, that is red to show that this is danger. Okay, And once you put grain there, you are saying that okay, it is okay, just the normal grain, just right click and just draw the line, and that goes for that. And finally, you can even change to something so cute. I think I love this color. This color is so cute. Just look at it, just to prove or to show clarity how the bishop moves. The bishop moves diagonally on the diagonals. Okay, cool. So this is one beautiful resource to use. And okay, one more thing is explaining to them how to arrange the chess pieces. In Nigeria we have this kind of song that is interesting. We just say rook, knight, bishop, rook, knight, bishop, king and queen together, and oh sorry, that's not the queen together, then the pawns at the front. Yeah, so this is a very interesting poem, and the children or pupils, they actually do sing along, when it comes rook, knight, bishop, king and queen together, pawns on the front. But for the advanced classes, I just make it so easy. I just tell them just put the rook at the two edges of the board, the knights are next, after the knights are the bishops, and after the bishops, the king and the queen. Remember, the white queen sits on the light square, and the king just stays anywhere because the king doesn't care. And we put the pawns right in front. So this proves or this shows them how to arrange the chess pieces as fast as possible and as easy as possible. Yeah, so you can also do for black pieces. You can also put the black pieces on the board and blah blah blah. You can do all those things. Okay, another thing that I usually do. Oh, sorry, let me just clear the board. Another thing that I usually do is that, for example, after teaching them the movement of the pieces, for example, if I'm teaching them the movement of the rook and I want to, capture some black pieces, all I have to do is just bring many black pieces on the board, and I call this game the monster rook. So what I do is I tell them I will use this rook. I need them to use this rook to capture every of the black pieces on the chessboard one by one, such that every move they make, they must capture something. And this actually buttresses how the pieces move. For example, rook left, right, remember, and up, down, nothing there but up. There is a knight up, so we just go all the way up and capture the knight on f6. And from here, which one can the rook capture again? We trace it all up, nothing is there, we trace it down, nothing is there, we go to the right, nothing is there. But what about to the left? Yes, there is a bishop on c6, and we go for it. And that way they answer all the questions that are therein until they capture all the pieces, and that sums up the story of the monster rook. Just be creative with whatever you do anyway. So that solves it. So next, maybe you want to teach them something about what is it called, the coordinates. Now this is where you go to learn and click on coordinates. Now I want to emphasize the a1, a1, a2, a3 names of the squares, and maybe my pupils are solid enough right now. So what I need to do is just come here and find the square. You see, this is name square, this is find square, depending on the one you want. Okay, so if I say name square, and we click on start this training, see what's going to start happening. At random, it will be bringing up squares, and we'll have to be typing the names, I believe. Yes, type. So here we go. See, that one is what? That one is c5. c5, yes, correct. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, I'm playing this for the first time. Actually, this is g8. I actually got this result from Mr. c5. I got this from c4. The board is even turned upside down. I'm just saying that actually. h1. I got this from FIDE Master Adiba Adeboyega. This is d7. So you just type the resource there. This is h6, I think. And how many was I able to do? That was 5. That's so poor. Anyways, I've never used this resource before. I just got that one again from FIDE Master Adiba Adeboyega, popularly known as Dabi in the Nigerian chess space scene. Okay, so I think in the world it should still continue with this Dabi anyway. Okay, so that's it regarding that. And if it is to find the square, when we click on start training, I think I've used this. I have this c3, h5, e4, e4, f4, h7. Now it is not me that will be doing this. Remember, it is the student. They have to find as fast as possible and see who's going to find it faster than the other. c6 and g6. I think this is faster once you start clicking. Is not as fast as clicking as I am with using the g5, b2, a1, f5, h4. I want to see how many I could do. c6, d4, d1, D1, C3. And how many are D24? That was my score. That's probably poor, but I think if I'm clicking on my phone or my tablet, if I'm using the touch screen, I think I should be very much faster. Although it's interesting anyway. So you can actually use that resource to actually teach when you can. So that sums up learning with coordinates, and you can also use the chess basics. Also, you can also come to chess basics and teach from chess basics, teaching how the rook moves, how the bishop moves, how the queen moves, how the king moves, how the knight moves, how to capture, take the enemy pieces. So let me give an example of capturing. You see, we can capture this, and this is actually almost correlating. Now look at this problem here. Now I have to consider the fact that if I capture this pawn, this rook is going to capture me back. So I have to consider that factor here, right? So I have to take the rook first, then after taking the rook, then I can go back to taking the pawn. So these are interesting ideas. Again, here, if I capture this pawn, this rook is going to capture me back. So it is not a good idea, so I have to go for this one first. Then which one should I go for next? Then I'll go on and attack the rook next, and take the rook, then come back to attack the pawn, and I'll take the pawn. So it's just a simple, interesting idea that you have to look out for. Okay, if I'm going to capture anything right now, I don't think going for the knight is a bad idea. Going for the knight is a bad idea. Well, it's not a bad idea, but I can't take the knight because the bishop is protecting. So the idea is to go here to take this, go back here, take this, and take this. So that's too fast anyway. But I'm just trying to wrap this video up as fast as possible. Come here. So, anyways, I think you got the whole idea behind using this one. So that deals with the chess basics. And you can go for puzzles also, but there is this wonderful resource called Puzzle Teams. And this Puzzle Teams, you have almost everything there. Almost everything, openings, middle games, end games, rook end game, bishop end games, pawn end game, knight end game, queen end game, queen and rook kind of attacks. Okay, you can talk about opening, Sicilian, French, queen's pawns opening, Italian opening, and all like that. You have all this. Look at these motifs: advanced pawn, attacking f2 and f7. This can be a topic, and you make sure that your student actually gets to the point where he knows how to attack f2 and f7. Capturing the defender, removing the defender, discover attack, double check. These are tactics. Exposed king, a tactic involving a king with few defenders around it, often leading to checkmate. Beautiful. Fork, knight forks. You're attacking two pieces at the same time. You can all these. These are wonderful resources depending on the topic you want to teach at a point in time. Attraction, clearance, defensive mode, deflection, interference, intermezzo. You have all this. Mating one, this mating one, checkmate about 1 million, 1.3 million checkmates. When we start, we have mating one about 609,000, mating two, 606,000. Mating 3, 147,000. Mating 4, many people don't do mating 4. Maybe that's why you have only 21,000. But of course, by the time you finish solving 21,000 mating 4, well, your tactical awareness towards the mate will be very, very absolute. I think, and there's another resource, 1001 best ways to checkmate. Anyway, that is not limited to mating 4. It's just once you start attacking, make sure you get to checkmate. I also love that resource, but it's not here anyway. That one is a private resource specifically. So like I said, special moves, you want to teach casting, you want to teach en person, you want to teach promotion, you want to teach under promotion. And the interesting thing about this casting, look at it, we have over 2,300 positions regarding casting, and we have over 7,000 regarding en person. So there is no way that you will go through maybe 200 of this and your pupil will be saying, I don't understand 100%. No, they would master it by even doing less than 200 of this, I can guarantee. Anyways, look at it. Equality, advantage, crushing, checkmate. These are one move puzzles, short puzzles. These are for some are for advanced, some are for intermediate, and many are for beginners over there. So you have these resources to your care, and which you can really use. I think there's also one more: study. When you click on learn, go to study, and from the study, you will have lots of topics that have been broken down for you to actually teach. For example, crush the Sicilian. This can be a very interesting topic. This was made by one Mr. Boss Bob 2 weeks ago. Every week I think somebody comes and drops something for people to actually study. Italian game. You want to study Italian game? You can click on this and just check one or two things there. Crush the default with the Benko Gambit. You want to learn Benko. You want to developing the best plan. Vienna Gambit, easy and simple way of of handling the Sicilian as white. And like that. You can just pick any topic that you like, and you just Art of Defending by Shigorin. crush your opponent, whatever. Just pick any topic of your choice, that in English or in your favorite language that you prefer. So that will be that regarding how to use the Lichess platform as a resource, as a tool to teach anyone how to play chess. I believe you found this very useful. Thank you very much. I remain sincerely yours, Chief Wills. And if you like this video, kindly subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you very much about it. See you next time. Bye for now.